we had enough time to train together as a team. Obviously, we just played the African Women Championship, and we came out victorious. So I think the bond in the team is still there. And coming together now, about 6 months ago, that was about 6 to 7 months ago, we won the competition, and now we are the Senior World Cup, and we had 2 weeks training tour before this one. You know, it was okay for us as a team because 2 weeks out of the country, in the same country you're playing the competition, for you to adapt to the weather and everything, I think it's not a bad one for us. We had the quality games. We had quality games before the World Cup. Proper. We played against Canada, and obviously we played a series of friendly games before now. You know, and I don't think it's a bad one. They are great matches which we fought hard to make sure we come out victorious in some of them. We didn't lose any points in all the games we played. So I think the spirit of the girls has been high even before the competition. If you ask me, I don't really see any difference between the Super Eagles and the Super Falcons in terms of preparation and also motivation. The girls are okay, we're happy, and as you can see, we went out on Monday to play out our heart, you know, just to tell the world that we're happy. This is the voice of the girls. We're really happy in the camp, ready to give our best, and the federation themselves, they're really trying on their side, because before we even ask them for 1 or 2 things, they give it to us as a team. I think there's no difference in the way they're treating the Super Eagles and the Super Falcons. Playing against Sweden was a good thing for us, because you know, sometimes people feel African countries we don't really perform very well at the World Cup, you know, both the men and the women's side, and we just said to ourselves before the World Cup, we said we're going to come to this competition to prove that we have a lot to give in Africa. We're not doing it for ourselves alone, but for our nation and also for Africa as a whole, you know. It wasn't a bad one for us against Sweden. We played out our heart, and at the end of the game, it was a good game. It was a good result. You know, it's normal. You know, as a team, we just told ourselves we don't have to give up, and we don't have to think we've arrived or something. Playing 3-3 against Sweden, I think that's just a start for us. And also, the second game is much more important than the first one. That first one has passed, and this is the next game. So the focus of the girls is now on the next game, and everyone wants to win, you know. The Australian side, a very good side, very good and tough as well. So I think the next game is our target, and we're ready to go out there to give our best.
That's it, Assistant Super Z Oshoala. That's about the best footballer in the world according to the BBC. So she says it all. They're getting ready for a much tougher game against the Matildas of Australia. Guys, let's quickly just talk about that one. Ivan, let me start with Coach Edwin Okon and his team. They shocked the world in that game against Sweden. Can it get better against Australia?
Oh yes, definitely. I saw, you know, the Australia-United States game that ended 3-1 favor of the Americans. I think that the Australians, you know, could be there for the taking. It all depends on how the Falcons approach the opening 45 minutes. You know, a repeat of the game against Sweden will not pay them any dividend. But if they start off the game just the way they started the second half against Sweden, I think they can take the Australians to the cleaners. Because it must be said that going forward, Odega, Oshoala, and Desire Paranose, these ladies are one of the best three. These ladies are one of the, you know, best three going forward in the world of football in terms of women now. And I think if they can get their act right, then they can do justice to that game. But critically, again, defensively, that's why I have issues with the Super Falcons. You know, Edwin Okon has failed to work on this defense over time. I think that the goals they considered against Sweden, which we also, these are goals that on a normal day could have been avoided, apart from the own goal scored by Opara Noze. Precious as well does not inspire so much confidence these days. So if defensively, the Falcons need to get their A game, but overall, I still believe that they can go out and do the business against Australia.
Today's fixtures, Germany taking on Norway. China will play the Netherlands. Ivory Coast take on Thailand. Host Canada, and then the guys are laughing. Come on, guys. Ivory Coast will bounce back. Canada will take on New Zealand. So there's fixtures at the FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada. We're expecting action tomorrow. The Super Falcons of Nigeria will take on the Matildas of Australia, 10 p.m. Nigerian time. Tolu, Ivan believes we need to work on the defense. What do you think can win that game for Nigeria?
First, if we work on that defense, I think we'll win it. I also believe, sincerely, because the first 2 goals we considered and it scared the Jesus out of me. And I was thinking, no, we can't consider another corner in this game. I mean, I was more scared of considering the corner kick than having the Swedes come to our goal. I thought if they take the ball to the corner flag, I'm like, no, not a corner kick. I'd rather have a throw-in instead, because it looked like we couldn't just do anything about it. But then, the Australians would have studied our game. The fact that Edwin Okon, coach, didn't make a single substitution tells you something. He believes strongly this is his best 11, and he finds it difficult to go away from them. Even though we had Esther Sunday, Courtney Dike sitting on the bench. I mean, so if they can, all they have to do is to study us, watch how we play. We like to pump it all forward and then chase after it. Assad looks to be a lot more skillful, and Desire didn't start the game properly. But when she got into the game, she became a serious driving force. I think we can get something better out of the Australians, but then they've only lost their own first game in the last 19. They won the other 12 and got 6 draws, and that was the defeat against the United States of America. Currently ranked 10th in the world, the Super Falcons are far behind, but then it looks like on paper it's going to be a David versus Goliath based on the FIFA ranking, but I think with what we saw, if not barring the blunders that we committed, we could have defeated the Swedes 5-6-0. So I think we will get a win against the Australians, although I think it's going to be very difficult.
So that's it. Looking forward to that game between Nigeria and Australia. Remember, tomorrow, 10 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's quickly dash to Washington now. Sonny Young is standing by to talk to us the 2015 NBA Finals, but he will also tell us some things about the Flying Eagles. Good evening, Sonny. If you're there, good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Good evening, Austin. And shout out for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. I thought they were very impressive in their opening match against Sweden. I also liked them against the Matildas of Australia on Friday. Quickly, Austin, I spoke with the coach of the Washington Spirit, a gentleman by the name of Mark Parsons. He's the head coach of Francisca Ortega, who scored the equalizer for the Super Falcons earlier this week. And he says Nigeria can get out of the group stage and go very, very far in Canada. And I agree with him, Austin, like you've been talking about. They really got some threats up front with Oshoala and Ortega. I really like the Nigerian girls. Technically, they look a lot better than I've seen in past World Cups. I think that team has really improved.
I like the fact that you like the Nigerian girls, Sonny, but I'll give you just one. Let's talk about the Flying Eagles, Sonny. They're out of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Sonny, but do you think that Nigerian team has got some promise?
I do. I do. In fact, on my radio show today, Austin, we had the media officer for the Flying Eagles, Sam Audu, and he said that a lot of those boys on the Flying Eagles will now be drafted into the Olympic team for Nigeria. And tough loss to the Germans, but, Germany could end up lifting the trophy at the end of the day in New Zealand. Very talented team. And at the senior level, Austin, I can't help but give a shout out for the USA.
I know.
Big win in Germany on Wednesday. I don't know where that came from in Cologne, but I was stunned. I think Jurgen Klinsmann, he's got magic pixie dust. He just keeps finding these young kids that keep delivering goals in Europe.
Good one, Sonny. Sonny, but you need to calm down. Don't start popping the champagne here. It's just a friendly game. Wait till you beat Germany at the World Cup. But it's okay. Austin. It's okay, Sonny. You're free to enjoy it. Sonny, let's talk about the NBA Game 4 tonight. But, Sonny, it's about time we test LeBron James to find out if he's got some alien DNA. He's playing terrific basketball.
I like that, Austin. Alien DNA. He has just been out of this world through the first 3 games. Just sensational. I don't know how you guard a player like that, Austin. That said, maybe Golden State needs to put 2 or 3 players on him more often. But right now, he's averaging over 40 points a game through the first, I think 41 through the first 3 games. NBA Finals record. The momentum and the emotion seems to be on the side of the Cavaliers, Austin. I mean, LeBron just seems on a mission right now. That said, Golden State has had a knack throughout the season of adjusting to various